And welcome everyone to this public meeting this evening at South Huron, July 14th at 5 p.m. And we'll ask everyone to ensure your cell phones are turned off or are muted. And we'll call this meeting to order. And as part of our agenda, we'll ask for roll call. And everyone can please unmute their mics. Councillor Oak, please.
Here.
Councillor Neeb.
Here.
Councillor Dietrich. Councillor Vaughn.
Here.
Councillor McLeod-Haggett.
Here.
Deputy Mayor.
Present.
Great, thank you. And welcome everyone who's joining us this evening from home, and welcome to our staff who are here this evening. And I believe Victor is on Zoom, so we'll go to the disclosure of pecuniary interest. Are there any disclosures at this time? Not seeing any. Thank you for that. Purpose of the public meeting, Madam Clerk.
The purpose of this public meeting of the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of South Huron is to consider and review a proposed zoning bylaw amendment under Section 34 of the Planning Act. This meeting is also to allow interested members of the public the opportunity to ask questions or offer comments on the application. Council will not make a decision on the proposed amendments at this public meeting, but based on the recommendations and information received at this public meeting, the proposed amendments will be presented for approval at a regular council meeting. The public registry for the application is located by the door and will be held by myself, the clerk. If any member of the public would like to be notified in writing of the decision, they are to provide their name and mailing address. Members of the public do not have the right to appeal the decision. Only the applicant, the property owner, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, a specified person under the Planning Act, or public body that has an interest in the matter may appeal the decision. Please refer to the County of Huron website for details about appeal rights.
Thank you. And at this point, there's no member of the public in the gallery this evening. So we turn to our staff member, Mr. Clues. Welcome. Please proceed whenever you're ready, Victor.
Thank you very much. And I'll just share screen. I'll give that a second to kick in the chambers. Perfect. So the subject property is legally described as south part of lot 273 and the south part of lot 274 in Exeter as part of Plan 376. The owner is a numbered company. One of the representatives of the numbered company is on the call today, and the applicant is Matt Runge. This property is in the southwest side of the town of Exeter. You can see the general location on the map on the left. It's at the corner of Market Street and Waterloo Street, and the call out on the right shows where it is on the specific zoning key map and some of the surrounding zoning. You can see that there's quite a bit of low density residential with some high density residential to the northwest. And there is also a patch of high density residential uses immediately to the east across the street. This application is proposing a rezoning from low density residential to medium density residential with some special provisions. The intention is to permit a 3-unit row house development. The first provision would clarify Waterloo Street as the front property line to make sure that everyone's on the same page as to how the different setbacks are required to be calculated. The second would allow a slight reduction in property depth from 38 meters to 36.5 meters. The third is an increased zone coverage of 55%, where 40% would be required. My planning report goes into this in a little more detail, but this actually isn't strictly required based on the zoning provisions that were added in the Housing Friendly Review. However, since there was already a rezoning being applied for, this would make sure that it's clear that the zone coverage conforms, and it would potentially allow for an accessory building like a small garden shed for the units in the future. The fourth provision would allow the applicants to choose whether they wanted a privacy fence instead of a planting strip. We're seeing more interest in a board privacy fence lately for these sorts of infill proposals. And the final one is, I think, the most significant that is being applied for. This would allow for projecting garages with an increased maximum width. And so this air photo helps orient us to the subject property. You can see this is a greenfield site here in the town. As I said before, there are a range of different housing types around it. There are There's a through lot immediately to the west, the closest developed site. And then there are a wide range of lot sizes and building types in the neighborhood. And you can see those higher density uses immediately across the street to the east. And this is a site plan for the proposals. You can see it's a fairly standard 3-unit townhouse. The units would all straight face out to Waterloo Street. The garage projections, while they are being applied for as a 4.5 meter projection, the anticipated impact isn't expected to be quite that much. Because of a couple of things about the design. So you can see that each of these units staggers slightly. That helps break up the facade, and it's one of the recommendations in the residential intensification guidelines. There are also porches on each of these units, and so that helps bring that perceived front wall of the building out further. You can see in this image front facade drawing of the proposal. So between the material choices, the different projections on the gables, those front porches, and the staggering of the facade, I think that we will see less impact here from these garage projections than you might otherwise expect from the numeric change. The widths also are in keeping with the proportions of the building. At this time, we've received no concerns from staff and agencies regarding the proposal, and we have no public comments that have been received, but of course some comments may be received during the public meeting. I won't read off everything that I wrote in the planning analysis in the staff report, and I think I covered off the highlights about the garage size and projection. But in general, all of these changes appear reasonable. These are the sorts of changes that we would expect to see for an infill application to get this sort of infill housing and intensification that is a broad policy objective in both provincial policy, the Huron County Official Plan, and the South Huron Official Plan. This is a great walkable location to the downtown core. And we aren't dealing with an increase in the total number of units here. We're just dealing with a change in the type of units being proposed. So rather than triplex or a semi-detached with additional residential units or something like that, which could end up with the same number or more units under the current zoning, the row house model is what's being built here. And so I am recommending approval of the zoning bylaw amendment application, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Great presentation. Thank you very much, Victor, for your time on this. And looks like a very promising development. Any questions from members of council? Okay, not seeing any at all. And I turn to the Madam Clerk. Do you have anyone on Zoom that'd like to speak to this?
So one of the owners is online, Craig Winbow. Craig, if you had any comments you wanted to add?
Welcome, Craig, if you're there.
Yes, hi there. No, I don't have any other comments.
Great, thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
And as again, I said, there's no one in the gallery. Madam Clerk, are there any other persons who'd like to speak to this that you're aware of?
There are no other individuals online.
Okay, thank you for that. If there's nothing further, we'll go on to item number 5 then.
That South Huron Council now closes this public meeting at 5:09 p.m.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Neeb. Any discussion? Call the question, all in favor? That carries with 7. Thank you. And thank you everyone for